A very good morning to my dear students. Today also we will be discussing chapter 1 and our today's topic is effects of Renaissance, humanism and literature. So let's start. The most important effect of the Renaissance was that new thinkers began to take interest in human beings. When the Renaissance period got started, the main focus of the new thinkers was to take interest in human beings only. Okay. From the spiritual things, there was a transformation of the affairs of human beings. Now men became the centers of the study and their efforts were made for the improvement of life on the earth. The new thinkers, those who had their interest, who had their concentration was on human life only, they were known as humanists. Now another significant feature of the Renaissance was the growing interest in literature. Now the humanists, they started to show their interest to study literature and history. They were not having any interest in the study of philosophy and religion anymore. Humanism first developed in Italy, and from that time onwards it spread to the other parts of Western Europe. Okay, Francisco Petrarch, Dante Alighieri, Erasmus, then Machiavelli, Shakespeare, they were some of the famous humanists, and through their writings, through their books, they raised the value of humanism and literature. Our next topic is art and architecture. Art and architecture during the period of Renaissance too followed the Greek and Roman models. Rounded arches, domes, then Grecian pillars, these were the features of the architecture during the Renaissance period. During this time, the artists, they painted natural landscapes. They began to paint the figures in a natural manner. Okay, they studied optics and geometry, and they used their knowledge to develop perspective in their paintings. During this time, the sculpture also came under the influence of the realistic art of classical Greece and Rome. Leonardo da Vinci, Michelangelo, they were some of the famous artists of this period. Michelangelo's greatest painting was on the ceiling of the Sistine Chapel in the Vatican, Rome. Now our next topic is the beginning of science and technology. By the effect of Renaissance only, there was an era of science. People began to think for themselves. With the observation and experimentation only, they were expecting, they were gaining their knowledges. They rejected blind faith, superstition, blind authority of the church. Francis Bacon, he was an English philosopher, and he advocated that knowledge can be gained by observation and experimentation only. Nicolaus Copernicus, he was a Polish astronomer, and he proved that all the planets, including the Earth, revolved around the Sun. This view was revolutionary one. Okay, as till that time it was believed that the Earth was the center of the universe and the Sun revolves around it, and the suns revolved around the Earth. Later, another astronomer and another Italian astronomer named Galileo, he, with the help of a telescope, he confirmed the theory that was developed by Copernicus. However, this theory was not accepted immediately because it was against the church teachings. The initiative that was taken by Copernicus and Galileo was further developed by another two famous scientists named Kepler and Isaac Newton. Kepler was a scientist from Germany. He explained with the help of mathematics that how planets move around the sun. Then Newton, the great scientist of England, with the help of mathematics only, he also proved that all the heavenly bodies move according to the law of gravitation. Another great scientist was William Harvey. He discovered how the blood circulated in the body. Now, the most important point that we have to remember is that Renaissance scientists largely depended on questioning, observation, and experimentation. Without these three keys, they did not believe in anything, they did not accept anything. And this is the scientific method and approach which largely influenced the ideas during that period, during the period of Renaissance.